In a historic milestone for Japanese politics, hardline conservative Sanae Takaichi has been formally nominated as Japan's first female prime minister on Tuesday after securing victories in parliamentary votes. Takaichi garnered 237 votes in the 465-seat lower house, exceeding the majority threshold. In the upper house runoff against opposition leader Yoshihiko Noda, she won 125 votes. This follows the Liberal Democratic Party's coalition with the right-wing Japan Innovation Party succeeding Shigeru Ishiba amid election setbacks. Takaichi pledges economic reforms, stronger US ties and increased women's cabinet roles without quotas. And DD India's Akshay Dongre joins us live. Hi Akshay. Sanae Takaichi makes history now after becoming Japan's first female prime minister. She also clinched a historic vote at the lower house. How do you assess this particular thing? How do you assess the entire situation in Japan now?
Well, this is clearly a victory for the women's rights there in Japan, especially
Right.
When it comes to the political landscape, which has been forever been dominated by the male members of the political parties and in politics in general. We have a prime minister that is becoming that is the first female prime minister of Japan. A very old country, and in these hundreds of years of history, especially the democracy of parliamentary democracy of the our country, we have a female prime minister.
Right.
But the challenges remain, Siddharth, because not it's not just the women's rights that is the core issue. We have an economic turmoil, dwindling relations with the US. As far as the ties are concerned between Japan and US, they have hit a new low with the kind of tariffs that have been implemented against almost all the countries by the US President Donald Trump. So let's see how Prime Minister Takaichi will manage to mend ties with Donald Trump, how she will mend ties between the two countries, and also keep a check the opponents within the party, the Liberal Democratic Party that has several factions who have many times pulled the prime ministers despite being from the same party. In fact, in the last 2 decades, we have 10 prime ministers changing. In the last 5 years, we have
Right.
5 prime ministers. So it's quite challenging for Prime Minister Takaichi as well to ensure that she now provides some sort of political stability to Japan, which is much required right now.
Definitely. When we talk about challenges, Akshay, the population in Japan is also on the decline. And can you throw some light on the challenges that you were mentioning that lie ahead of the new Prime Minister of Japan?
Well, there are several challenges, Siddharth, because you have rightly mentioned the changing demography,
Yeah.
the kind of work hours that people are putting in, because there is not just enough population to replace the ones that are getting older. Then you have other issues like in the Indo-Pacific region, in the South China Sea, you have tussle going on with China every now and then. Then again, other challenges remain. That is the high inflation, the falling of the currency of Japan, and all of these challenges, coupled with the kind of trade ties with the US are going down. It's a significant problem. And also, Sanae Takaichi being from the conservative bloc of the LDP, she has talked about patriarchy. She has, in fact, supported patriarchal society in Japan. So many of the people, many of the women voters were also not very optimistic about her trying to bring a massive change in the society as far as being the first female prime minister is concerned, because she has supported the older traditional rules, and that will also include facing the challenge of falling population, because she has been a proponent of marriages, people having more children, restoring the demography that is at loss. So all of these challenges remain, and we'll see how Sanae Takaichi handles them.
Definitely. Akshay, employment to locals is also a big challenge in itself, because the Japanese, they keep saying that the government should give employment to Japanese first and then to other people who are coming from the other countries. So can we see some improvement in that as well with new Prime Minister coming at the helm of the country?
Well, Siddharth, it would be sort of, probably too much to say that all the Japanese have that opinion. Many of the people do. So it also has different kind of opinions when it comes to immigration. Because if the population is just not there, then people will not. There is not. If immigration is not there, population is falling, then you will not have labor force, and the economy will come crashing down. That is one challenge. So yes, immigrants are helping the society continue
Right.
with its development, economic development. So that is one there. But when it comes to political stance of Sanae Takaichi, the situation with immigration may just become worse because she's part of the conservative bloc, remember? And she will be, coming with policies that will be more pro-Japan than pro-immigration or pro-other kind of liberalization of the economy, liberalization of the citizenship rules. So there you will not see any sort of improvement as of now. That's what assumptions are being made. However, we'll have to see that how, given the challenges, she will deal with them.
Definitely. And also, Akshay, Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Sanae Takaichi on becoming the first female Prime Minister of Japan. Besides, Donald Trump might be visiting Japan soon to meet the new Prime Minister. Any information on that, Akshay, and what can we expect from that?
Well, it would be a speculation at this point in time.
Okay.
However, we have a Quad leadership summit in India. So we can expect Sanae Takaichi to visit India as part being the Prime Minister of Japan. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has always been a proponent, in fact, one of the world's biggest proponent of, women empowerment. We have our own Nari Shakti drives in almost all the sectors of society and economy, from military to corporate, everywhere, from education to other schemes that government is launching, is also being launched, keeping in mind the women empowerment. And this is, in fact, a victory, or a major victory of women empowerment itself, for female Prime Minister of Japan. So we can expect very warm relations between India and Japan, even closer than we have seen in the last few times. However, they also have been exceptionally strong, from Fumio Kishida to Shigeru Ishiba. Then Shinzo Abe was a very close personal friend of
Yeah.
Prime Minister Modi.
Yeah.
And we can expect the trend to continue in future as well.
Definitely. Wonderful analysis there, Akshay. Thank you so much. We leave it there. PM Narendra Modi congratulated Sanae Takaichi on her election as PM of Japan. In a social media post on X, PM Modi said, and he said, looked forward to working closely with her to further strengthen the India-Japan special strategic and global partnership. PM Modi said that our deepening ties are vital for peace, stability and prosperity across the Indo-Pacific and beyond.